Now, we will now go into Revelations 13. Another scripture that they use to say that an Antichrist may come first. An Antichrist must come that everyone must look for in prophecy today. Let's go to Revelations 13. And they say during this period, the church will already be raptured into heaven. And I'm glad we made it clear that that rapture into heaven does not even exist. Let's go to Revelations 13. Right? And we're going to start at about the 9th verse. Revelations 13 and 9, if you can follow this here. Are y'all following this? Yeah? Okay, good. Let's get Revelations 13 and let's start at the 9th verse. Yeah, start at 9.
If any man have an ear, let him hear.
If you have your spiritual ears open, listen. Go ahead.
He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity.
He that put people into captivity, eventually the same will happen to those that have placed people into captivity. Read.
He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword.
So if you kill somebody with the sword or destruction, eventually you reap what you sow. Go ahead.
Here is the patience and the faith of the saints.
That's what the saints are waiting for. The saints are waiting, for Christ to set them back up and turn the tide. Read.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
When it says beast, it's not talking about a man. It's talking about an empire. Okay? So they use these scriptures to say, hold up, man, it's talking about the beast, which is the Antichrist. No, it's talking about empire. We're going to prove it. Read.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
2 horns like a lamb, and spake as a dragon. That means he's coming in a soft-spoken way. Or this empire comes like they would not harm anyone. But what's coming out of their mouth is those frogs or those lies that we were talking about earlier from the Roman Catholic Church. Satan, the spirit of Satan would come out of them. Read.
And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him.
All the powers of the first beast before him. So this new beast would exercise the beast of Holy Rome, of the Babylonian Empire. You're going to find out this beast is being executed through America today. This is Holy Rome again. Read.
And causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
So this country, through the way it takes people down and destroy people, it makes everyone worship who? The Holy Roman Catholic Church. Each place it go to conquer, it sets up a church. These beasts in Revelations are empires, not one man. Read.
And he doth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
So in the Left Behind tapes, they talking about a man coming and fire going to come out of his mouth. He's not talking about that. These are great miracles you see today when you see the wars in Iraq and the wars in these different countries, and America shows, and Great Britain and all these other countries show their nuclear capability, their missiles and weaponry. That's making great fire come down from heaven. That's a miracle compared to the time that John was on this earth. There was no technology where a missile can go from one country to the next. It's talking about an empire that would have the miracles of weaponry. So while you're waiting on, while we're taught to wait on a man, that's fire going to be coming out of his mouth. That empire have already executed these miracles. Read.
And deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live.
That image is a lifestyle that the Western world and America portrays to the people. It's a lifestyle. It's an image that they give us. That we must follow this image, and if we don't follow under the image that Satan gives us, he have no use for us. And he execute this through democracy all over the earth. Read.
And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed.
So if we don't worship this image, this dream, this philosophy, this understanding that comes from the Western world, they have no use for you. So what they're doing for those that may oppose the New World Order and the powers of the Roman Catholic Church, they have concentration camps and death waiting for you. Read.
And he called them all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads.
Right hand or in their foreheads. Receive as a badge of servitude. You have the RAPTURE chip coming now. You have the Bearer chip coming. You have MyCAD coming. You have Chad coming, where your children can be shot with an implant from birth. And with it, all your identification is in it. Now, did you see an Antichrist pop up on the scene and say you better get these things? No. But through the fear of terrorism, George Bush and all the Western worlds and societies are now pushing an Antichrist society. So now we understand the reason they're pushing propaganda with Left Behind, the rapture doctrine. Why? Because if I think that an Antichrist must come and I will be raptured into heaven, any source of spending, whether it be the chip or identification, I will gladly receive. Because according to what I believe, if I'm not raptured, the mark of the beast have not been revealed yet. And through that, your pastors will tell you, listen, the church has not been raptured yet. So follow your government and get everything they tell you to get. Because according to the Bible, unless you're raptured, the mark of the beast have not been revealed, because we don't know who the Antichrist is. So it was a propaganda to get the masses prepared to receive this electronic spending that will be instituted in the near future. And Christians are going to eat it up. They're going to get it because propaganda has been pushed on them. And because this haven't happened, who's that?
That's mine.
Because this haven't happened yet, they will receive it. They will receive the chips and the electronic spending with no problem. Read.
And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark.
You see that? You will not be able to buy or sell unless you have this mark. What's this mark? This mark is the chip that's being instituted through the government of the Western world. Read.
Or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666.
It's a number of a man, to let you know that spirit would come through a man. And it started with who? It started way back during Paul's time. The spirit of Antichrist that came through the Pope, that came through Holy Rome, that is here today in the Western world, pushing everyone to follow an image in this earth. So they had to push a concentrated propaganda to make everyone accept the spending system that they have today. And they have placed certain pastors and teachers. They have tactfully put them in place. Within the last 15 years have pushed a prosperity doctrine so that people will get used to thinking that it's okay to be paid. I'm supposed to have money. I'm supposed to have riches. So when this new electronic system is instituted, they can move you right into it and say, listen,